How's it going, everybody? So today our cells are finally balanced and it is time to make one 48-volt battery. These guys have sat in parallel for 2-3 days now, so everything's all balanced up. All the cells are at the same voltage, same capacity. They have worked through what they're doing. So everything's all balanced up. All the cells are at the same. So we're going to work on pulling these apart from their parallel settings. So today, oops. Sorry guys, I'm trying to make sure that we're actually live.
You're live.
So we're going to pull these out of their parallel strings and make one 16S 48-volt series battery. These are all 3.2 volt cells. They're 80 amp hours, so at the end of it, we'll have a 48 volt, 80 amp hour battery. So I hope I'm coming in clear for everybody. It's always tricky with internet in a bus. So, as we're doing this, really is about as straightforward as it goes. Make sure you're pulling your cells individually, don't let anything cross. And what I'm doing as we go is setting them positive to negative, because that's what their eventual orientation will be once they actually get wired in series. These ended up being really nice aluminum cell. We had one failure, which is why this video is kind of delayed. It came in and it read at like 1 volt. And one thing about lithium iron polymer, which is what these guys are, is once they get below a certain voltage, they are just toast. You have chemical degradation in the battery itself, and it just doesn't have what it takes to do its job, and it won't accept a charge balanced with the rest of a cell, which is really one of the reasons we have a BMS on here. Besides looking at the entire cell, it looks at every single one and makes sure that no one cell is dropping to a voltage that will cause damage to the battery. So when people talk about, lithium batteries having a, 15-year lifespan, 10-year lifespan, they're talking where they've been charged and discharged in a really slow, safe profile and haven't been discharged below a certain point. So, just to kind of put it in perspective, we were looking at potentially doing AGM to start with, or sealed lead acid. And in the end, by doing this ourselves, and just doing the research and learning how to put together a battery like this, we ended up with a substantial increase as far as kilowatt hours for the amount of money we spent. Alright. One thing we also did is, if you notice, the curtain rod in the corner and these bus bars that I'm taking off, so I'm going with our bus is powered by curtain rods. Just pure copper pipe that was pressed and drilled. And if you want to find out more, we will be posting a video that's kind of a VOD of all of this. But for those of you that really enjoy doing solar stuff and watching batteries be made, here we are. So we have pretty short bus bars. If you have longer bus bars, be very careful that you're not bridging connections. As you see, these aren't long enough to actually bridge between these two, even if they spin full round. So still do the job, still are enough length to cover all of the connector, but not as likely to short out or, well, blow up a battery. So yeah, if you don't feel like rolling out copper pipe, you can look at metal supply houses around you, and depending place, sometimes they'll even cut it for you. So you can just say, I need 37 of X size. Yeah, unfortunately, we haven't really gotten much of a break from tree service, have we?
Nope. The next door neighbors are chopping down like all their trees. All of them. I swear.
Yeah, as a woodworker, it always hurts to hear a wood chipper running. It's like, oh, but do you know how many bowls that could be?
Charles has definitely been running over and like sneaking off with chunks of trees.
This is the truth. This is the truth. I mean, it was some really nice oak, and they were just about to throw it in a chipper, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna stand by and allow this to happen. It was a perfectly healthy tree, so.
Sad days.
Yeah. It'll be a while before it can be anything, but.
Still. It's alright. We have come to the conclusion that the bus will be all our living stuff and like our power tools, and then the van is going to be our storage for like all our maker stuff, like our wood and clay and my music things. I need to tint my windows.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you coffee.
Okay, thank you.
I will try not to get distracted.
I appreciate that. All right. So that is 16 cells, all separated and set in their series. And as I said, these have been balancing for a few days before we started this particular project. You really, I cannot stress enough the need to balance your lithium batteries before you set them up. If they're unbalanced, your BMS is going to look at all of those various cells, and well, as soon as that cell that's low and unbalanced hits its low voltage cutoff, your whole battery goes down, and it just shuts down. Because, I mean, usually that protects your battery if you don't go through the necessary steps ahead of time, then unfortunately you kind of end up with, well, not the ideal circumstance. So we are going to battery negative, so we want our negative on that side. Right. You know what I did? These all got to be flipped around. Because I want right side negative. I do believe. Hold that thought. Because I know this. Yeah, right side negative. So yeah, where it's going, it's just, you know, don't want to build your battery backwards and then end up, well, up a creek. So I'm building mine right side negative. So. Okay. So that will be a 148 volt battery. So as we are reassembling this, we want to make sure that we are using our BMS as it should be. First cell negative. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So as we're going, we want to make sure that our BMS is properly installed. So you have first cell. So since this is a common port, BMS, power comes in and out on the same ports. So with this, your first BMS lead is your first cell's negative. And this is our wiring harness. You can see we have 16 leads there. And the next is first cell positive. Just tell me in chat if this is still coming in all right. Everything going. Counting on you, chat. All right, and then we go second cell positive. Now I gotta look something up. Well, I done did a whoopsie. Alright, so I'm just making sure that I don't make a terrible mistake. Okay. So yeah, that just goes out to each battery. So that is there. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., etc., etc. Perfect. So this is the downside of Dali. They don't send you any documentation. Alright, well, hopefully I don't fry a mess. It'd be real great if I didn't do that. So, for anybody who's just joining us or has decided to watch in the eventual future, we are building our buses 48-volt battery set. It's basically a DIY cell made out of just standard lithium raw cells. Hopefully it will do the job swimmingly. That'd be my goal. Where are you not wanting to seat all the way? The chunkier one. So all this will be wrapped in gaff tape at the end when we get there, whenever the end comes. Hello, hello. Building our lithium battery. All that fun stuff. good progress. It's kind of a long and painstaking process. Alright, well, because of my bus bar order, I'm gonna have to build this a little differently. Ay vey. Gotta love it. As you can see, Dally the BMS over here. Alright, so just gotta scoot these guys over this way. Actually, makes me feel better. So this one's full of a bit of danger. It is long enough to bridge connections and terrifies me. Moments like those just make you feel Note to self, this is a battery. Don't lay your arm on it. Okay. I got it. I got it. Yeah, so after 10 cells, that's where I start to get a little overly aware, because of the fact that a little over 30 volts is when you start, getting electrocuted. I'm sorry if the internet's just not holding out for us. Let's try that. See if that does any better. Did that fix it? Well, here's hoping that that fixed the stream. I apologize if this quality was so poor earlier. You're getting to that point where you're building a battery and you're about to wire the first cell that could not react so well to people. And of course, this one that you have a terrible solder job on. I'm not freaking out. You're freaking out. Are they done? Do we not have to listen to... Like, don't get me wrong. I love the sound of chainsaws, for the record. But when they're killing trees that shouldn't be killed and... Spoke too soon. All right. Well, why are you so? Dislike the level of nastiness on that terminal. So when working on batteries, just remember, if you're only touching one terminal, it's not going to shock you. You get shocked when you become the path of least resistance. Didn't want to play nice. Come on. Okay. Hi. So I don't suppose anybody chat. Anything? stressful. The balancing part was easy. There was no chance of it exploding. It's just like, oh, just wire this up so that it all equalizes out. No. Have to make it complicated. Okay. Do not like that sound. Okay. Next. Okay. Well, we're almost one whole battery together. Which is, both kind of inspiring that, I'm not any kind of expert on any of this sort of stuff. I'm entirely self-taught, aside from some influences in my life, family and that sort of thing that encourage working with hands. But, if I can do it, anybody can do it. I really believe that, this is a really, really great way to kind of take your own footprint into your own hands and get, a product that's going to be a permanent solution if it's taken care of and done right, versus, AGM and, sealed lead acid, those sorts of things that they work, but how many times are you going to have to replace that before it's, gone through the same life as a lithium lithium pack like this? So presuming that I don't destroy this in the process of building it, which hopefully if something goes wrong, it is just the BMS. That will be pretty obvious. But hopefully this will be everything we need for power for the eventual future. And yeah, we're coming straight from the bus. We have not yet left as our original plan indicated, but we're working our way there. You're rapidly approaching the potential for departure. I guess we can just put a terminal block on here because I will probably be disassembling this battery before we do a final installation just because I'll have to make a case for it. Right now it's really heavy. Alright. So that is the final screw. So let's take a look, see what we have. All right, there we go. Main negative to main positive. Well, guys, we have a 53 volt battery on the dot, so I can't complain.
Woo!
So yeah, that's pretty much our whole deal for this. One, and it's 53 volts, just because 48 volts is right at the bottom of the charge curve. So that is a perfectly workable 48 volt battery. It gives us quite a fair amount of headroom. And coffee has arrived. Yay!
I did get distracted.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. And then I was like, I was doing something. I was like, fuck coffee. And then, yeah, sorry.
Well, you want to say toodaloo?
Oh, we done? Oh,
We
fuck.
done. We done. One whole battery, 16 series lithium cells. Done and done.
Done and done.
Done and done.
Woo!
Now I just have to make sure that I didn't wire the BMS backwards. So.
Don't say that.
Well, no, that's why alright, so I am cheating. We're not exactly done. I didn't plug the ribbon cable into the BMS yet.
Why not?
Because I might have wired it backwards. So it says cell 1 through 16.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't reference whether you're counting from the point of your common ground or if your first positive is cell 1.
Oh.
So I want to make sure that either it doesn't matter or it's the way I did it. So yeah, we're very close to done, and rapidly approaching the point where we'll actually be able to have a power system. Because even if we just have from the wall, we can have it run through the battery and the inverter.
That would be amazing. So we can start running cables everywhere?
Yeah.
We have actual electricity, like glamping electricity?
Exactly.
Sweet.
We'll only have one big cable going to the bus instead of...
That's what he said. It's one big table, y'all.
Well, alright, guys. We will see you again next Monday.
Woo.
Wish me luck on the rest of the BMS.
Good luck.